Well, the GOP claiming a narrow victory in Kansas, where Republican Ron Estes won a special election to take over the House seat vacated by CIA Director Mike Pompeo. Joining me now, Congressman-elect Ron Estes. Thank you, Congressman. Can you hear me okay? I know we were having a little bit of an audio issue earlier.
I can hear you fine. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. So let me just ask you. You won by 7 points. This was a very, very close election. What does your close election outcome say about President Trump and the sentiment about our president where you are?
Well, I think, the President Trump is still very popular in the 4th District and across all of Kansas. Special elections are a little bit different than the general election in that we had fewer than half the number of voters that turned out in November. So you get a different mix of voters that turn out. We also saw some impact from the things that were happening in Washington. We could tell a loss of enthusiasm or a decline in enthusiasm after the health care bill had to be pulled back and reworked, because people sent Republicans up there. They wanted to see things accomplished, whether it's health care repealing, replacing Obamacare, or unwinding some of that regulations, or getting tax code reform. So I think it's hard to compare the two because they're really apples and oranges.
I know. Also one would ask, when you talk about repealing and replacing Obamacare, because that was a #1 issue that President Trump, then elect candidate Trump, had campaigned on, how do you feel that the special election speaks to how Republicans feel about repealing and replacing Obamacare?
Oh, I think people in the district are very supportive of that. What we've seen over the last 7 years is that Obamacare really failed. It failed to lower premium prices. It failed to make health insurance affordable, because there's a difference between having health insurance and being able to get health care. And you can have health insurance, but if your deductibles are $6,000 for a person, you really can't afford that health care. And so we need to make sure that people have insurance as well as being able to get care.
Okay, so then let me ask you, what do you think should come first? Because when the health care plan failed, President Trump wanted to move right into tax reform. Let that explode.
I can't hear you now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So remember when the health care plan imploded, and essentially it failed, and President Trump came forward right away, dusted himself off. He said, we're going to move forward to tax reform. Healthcare, Obamacare, is going to explode on its own, and when it does, we'll fix it. What do you believe should come first, implementing comprehensive health care plan or tax reform?
I think one of the things that I'm going to get involved in once I'm there is understanding some of those dynamics. As I understand it right now, there's some implications for tax reform that drive us to make it important to work on health care first. And so as we focus on repealing and replacing Obamacare, that's going to help with the tax reform as we move forward. So we want to make sure both of those move forward. I think those are the priorities that the American people want for us to accomplish.